First at 10, we've been following the data center debate in Jessup for months. And after the borough voted to rezone parts of the community to better regulate where data centers can be built, one developer is now appealing that decision. Good evening. I'm Aaron Leedy.
And I'm Ann Laree. A new hearing tonight focused on a key piece of that project, a proposed substation and switchyard on land that includes residential and mixed-use zoning. Fox 56's Elizabeth Hakis was there as both sides laid out their arguments. Liz.
That's right, guys. Tonight's hearing was not about the data center buildings themselves, but rather the power infrastructure the developer says that they would need to power these projects. Breaker Street Associates has appealed the borough's denial of their application to place a 17-acre switchyard and substation in an R2 zone, part of a larger plan to build data centers on the mixed-use portion of the property. Attorney Kevin Walsh, representing the developer, said the company applied for the project under the zoning rules that existed at the time, rules they believe allowed the use. But the borough's updated ordinance calls that into question. The proposed site is currently vacant land made up of old mine spoils, with existing PJM transmission lines overhead. Walsh argued the plan benefits the borough even if the part of the project stretches into the residential zoning. Kim Fosnot with Ritu Associates testified that while the substation itself may not be a community amenity, the overall project would bring jobs and revenue.
While the switchyard and substation is not a direct benefit to the community, the data center will be. It allows for economic growth with taxes and jobs, and then infrastructure improvements that may be required as the development.
But zoning consultant Andrew Schwartz, who helped Jessup update its ordinance, said the rules are clear and emphasized that zoning designations cannot be stretched across property lines.
It's not like cream cheese or peanut butter where I'm allowed to do it on one side, but I can spread it over onto the other piece of bread. It's only allowed on that one piece of bread. That's my analogy. So this is where the denial came in.
Breaker Street Associates is asking the zoning board to classify the switchyard and substation as public utility use. But the application submitted to the borough does not identify the project as a public utility facility, and no documentation from PPL, the future power operator, was presented. Residents questioned whether the new substation would raise utility bills. Walsh responded that the applicant isn't a power company and doesn't set utility rates.
Is this going to have any effect on our light bills, our PPL bills? Will it increase them?
The applicant isn't in the business of providing power. You know, we're making an application.
Right. My concern is if my bill is going to double or triple.
The zoning board did not make a decision tonight, but they will continue to review that testimony before ruling on the appeal. Live in Jessup, I'm Elizabeth Hakis with Fox 56 News, First at 10.